Yo. Oh. Ooh, ooh. Gonna sex you up. Feel the music of Jesus, because He's the only, He is your way. Jesus, come inside me right now. I need you to fill me up with your love. Ooh, and your forgiveness is all I need from your gracefulness. Jesus is the only way today. And I was just astray. When I pushed your love away. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I'm just a member of your flock. I don't wanna suck on no cock no more. Well.
Jesus is the only way.
The way.
He is the way. He is the way. The only way to get out of this one is we must find the way of Jesus.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it with another pod, the American Meme Podcast. I'm Joe, here with my good co-host,
V. Syndicus.
Vin Syndicus. Last episode, easily the worst episode, totally incomprehensible. I don't even know, I couldn't even think to make any clips from it because it's so out there, it's esoteric. Definitely, it's definitely for Ricks only. If you're a Jerry,
pod.
if you're a Morty, if you've got two-digit IQs, definitely will not be able to handle it at all. So smart people
Any
only for
Beths
the
out
last
there,
episode.
Any Beths out there listening, hit me up. We can have a little fling. I don't want to marry you though, because you're kind of a flight risk. But what's up?
Episode 14. Yeah, don't try it without adult supervision
Or without having tripped acid at least 5 times. That's the prior requirement necessary.
Yes, you need a journey. You have to have been on a trip in order to understand what the hell we're talking about.
Or retarded, either one.
But this episode, we've got a lot has happened in the oncoming weeks since you've heard from us.
Oppenheimer, Sloppenheimer,
Barbie
making $1 billion at the box office.
Did it cross?
It's going to.
It's on its way. It may even beat Mario. Mario made 1.3.
I liked Barbie.
Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, I did. I'm not kidding.
Why do you hate men? What did they do to you?
Dude, okay.
How did they hurt you?
I should reiterate. I liked the Barbie movie because of Ken. Okay? Big Dick Kenergy. I'm Knuff. Ryan Goss with another heart-wrenching performance. Every Sigma male's fantasy.
How does he do it? How does he keep getting these perfect roles?
He's just incredible in everything he does, dude. The other guys,
Drive,
The Notebook, and now Barbie. Okay, this man.
I feel like he's got another. La La Land.
Oh, he's great in that movie, and he can actually sing, dude. I'm not gonna lie, dude. His musical number in that movie was pretty fucking sweet.
Which one? The end?
Toward the end, yeah.
I did think it was a little.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Barbie? You didn't like it?
Yeah. No, I liked his songs for sure. And I think that is the reason why it didn't get the full woke stamp. You know what I mean? Like it couldn't get because this is a prime movie for the anti-woke community to rally around, but they didn't. I mean, Ben Shapiro, Daily Wire, the Daily Wire crew
Michael Knowles liked it.
The Daily Wire crew was split on it. The Ben Shapiro crew was they were arguing about it.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw pieces of that.
About whether is it secretly making fun of feminism or not.
If you wanna understand your stance on the movie, watch the Shoe on Head movie review. Okay, she's getting quite based these days.
Matt watched that and was trying to tell me, like, he was like, "Oh, what is the real message of it?" I'm like, dude, the conservative cope is insane on this movie. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Like, the spin that they're putting on, like, oh, no, the feminism is... They're critiquing it.
Shiona Head isn't a conservative, though. I mean, she might as well be by today's standards, sure.
Yeah, by today's standards.
But she's a communist. She's like a self-proclaimed socialist.
So was Steve Bannon was basically a socialist without the name. The Trump crowd was ready for welfare reform, but expanding it, not reducing it, for veterans and families and shit. You know what I mean? So it's the polls are breaking down for sure, but broadly speaking, you've got roughly right-wing anti-woke shit, and it's not all. There is left-wing anti-woke people out there for sure.
Now, can we give the people the real message of the movie? And I'm gonna be real.
Okay.
There isn't really one. I don't think so.
Okay, spoilers, obviously, spoilers here, but the message of the movie is that Barbie is an idea, and that's why Margot wants to become a real woman at the end, because she's Pinocchio.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants to break out of the conceptual space, like the fantasy realm, and she wants to live in the real world where real women are and be a real woman.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like a pretty clear message to me that this is Barbie's of the what Greta Gerwig is trying to tell little girls is that Barbie's a fantasy and you're real.
I think it's bigger than that, unironically.
Oh, okay. Tell me what about the bigger message that isn't there.
I think it's that isn't there.
You said there's no message.
I mean, okay, look, in order to fully encapsulate the film's message, I was being kind of funny about that. My bad, dude. Calm down.
Ad hoc, straw man, post hoc. What are the args, dude?
Ad hominem, fuck you, you're a faggot.
What are the args? You're not making an argument.
No. I'm just kind of, spilling the tea, just kind of dropping some things to consider. Look, I didn't do a full analysis of this film. I was watching it at the movie top.
Your GF liked it, didn't she? That's why you're giving such a cucked review.
What are you talking about? I legitimately was fucking having a great time about it. I didn't like the female propaganda that was in the film because it felt uneducated and unwarranted. I'm not going to lie. It did make my eyes roll. America Ferrera was kind of annoying.
Oh,
her daughter
God.
was even more annoying. I hate the fact
that whole saga.
I hate the fact that people feel like committed to tying in the real world perspective in these movies about toys. Like whether it be like TMNT or Transformers or Barbie, there always has to be that human real world element. Like, for once, can't we just see the real world element inside of these things that we create? Because they are supposed to be reflections of you, Like, it doesn't get more real than that. Why do we have to make April O'Neil a fat black cunt? Why does she have to be super realistic and grounded? Isn't the fact that she's a woman amongst a group of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles make her grounded enough?
Okay, see, I feel like we're moving because the 2010s was all this postmodern, like, oh, we're gonna give you the real shit. This is like for fuck the fantasy, like this is real, And I mean, to some degree, like Nolan kind of pushed that because it's like, oh,
The Dark Knight.
Oh, this is a superhero, but it's serious and it's grounded and it's, you know what I mean? And there's big themes. But now we're slowly moving back towards the fantasy world. Like Barbie is like, sort of like this 50-50 split movie where it's like you get the full fantasy of Barbie Land.
Yeah.
But like for half of the movie and then the other half is in the real world. But at the end of the day, it's still breaking towards reality.
I think...
Does that make sense?
No, I get it. I just think there are so many people who are motivated by political affiliation or ideology that they kind of miss the bigger picture of this movie. And it's just a dumb fucking movie. I love it. It's a disaster, and I love it. But I'm not going to lie. There were some sequences that were like legitimately, genuinely well-crafted. Some of the soundtrack was actually pretty good. They had a Tim Impala song. Pretty cool.
They did. I do have to give it points for that.
And like I'm not okay, but aside from the soundtrack, like some of the scoring was actually, I thought, pretty decent. Like compared to like a typical Marvel scoring, there was like some really cool eerie synths when like Barbie was having like an existential crisis. I was like, man, if you just take off the Barbie logo, this is actually just kind of a really good scene. I mean, I hate looking at movies through like a filmmaker's perspective, but like some of that stuff I just can't ignore. Like, man, these sets are actually really pretty well designed, and like the costumes are really good, and the acting is actually pretty stellar.
Yeah, there's good elements in it.
And I don't even think the story is necessarily bad. I think it actually has a really well crafted, genuinely decent story. It may not be targeted towards me, but I can appreciate it. I mean, it hits all the beats, it hits all the plot points that you would find necessary in a pretty decent story. I mean, I just think if you get rid of a lot of the fucking political overlay, I think you actually have a good movie there. A great movie, even. I think that's what holds it back, is the fact that it's trying to appease a crowd of people that don't give a fuck about this movie.
That's the thing.
Because you didn't go full measure on it.
The movie is totally crafted around the message. Like, there is no... This movie, it's a fundamentally different movie without the message.
No, that's true.
Because, like, the whole thing is set up to give you... And then Will Ferrell is useless. Like, honestly, I was shocked.
I think that's the point.
I was shocked when they made Ken the absolute villain of the movie.
I don't think
I was
so.
Like, I thought that's why Will Ferrell was there. Mm-hmm. Because Barbie was going to learn her lesson that Barbies need their Kens and Ken needs Barbies, and we can't do this alone, and we're going to have to team up and face the real evil of capitalism. And Will Ferrell or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And still get your message in there. But no, it's literally no, men are the problem here. And Barbie Land is good, and the real world is fucked.
You don't think Karen... I mean, I don't agree with it, but I think they were trying to go with, like... You shouldn't be defined about the things that you pine for. You should be defined about who you are. Like, Ken is something without Barbie. I don't agree with it. Please don't put that in my fucking mouth. I just think that's what they were going for. Like, the whole you're Knuff thing. Like, look, Ken... You don't need me to be a fully realized individual. You can do that by yourself. You're just Ken.
But it
I understand there's not a lot to support that because they basically have an fascist overthrow of the entire patriarchy at the end through insidious manners.
No,
they commit a literal coup at the end. Like, yes, let's not ignore that. That was my fucking conservative thought process. Like, oh, so they're just going to cheat. They're just going to cheat. I just think that, like, you could easily come away from this movie thinking that, like, oh yeah, women, we don't need men, and men don't need women, and that's because yeah, you are Knuff, and Barbies already know that they're awesome and don't want Kens anyway. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, men, go fuck off and do your own shit. Women are enough. The matriarchy is fine. But it kind of... I told my girlfriend at the end of the movie... I told her at the end...
They even mentioned...
Okay, go ahead.
They don't show the guys... They don't show the America Ferrera's husband until the end. Because it's like... yeah, and she even says, oh, you can be a mom. If you want to or not. But you know what you need to be a mom? A Ken.
Yeah.
So how does that work?
No, I'm not disagreeing.
I'm a woman, but I want to be a mom for myself. Okay. How are you going to get pregnant? Well, I'm going to get a fucking sperm donor. Okay, yeah. I guess you really don't need men then.
I made a joke at the end of the movie to my girlfriend. I was like, look, I told her before, like, if women were in charge, there'd be more bloodshed in the world. And Barbie illustrated that point perfectly, because they basically pit men against each other to fight for their own political whims. Remember, they basically orchestrate the entire Ken Civil War at the end?
Oh, right.
I'm like, it's true. women are more bloodthirsty than men, but they just don't do the dirty work.
And I also thought that was kind of crazy too. Where like, oh,
but that's funny because it's true.
Their plan is to manipulate men.
Women operate on insidious means. They don't fight with their hands. They fight with ideas and pitting us against each other.
Yeah, through but they literally win through like manipulation and deception.
I mean, didn't more men die under Queen monarchy than male? I don't know. Maybe that's just a false.
But no, I'm not saying that's not accurate. But Barbie is the hero of the movie, and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we've got to subvert these men that want to play music for their girlfriends and
play Matchbox 20.
And yeah, and they want to see them happy, and it's like, I don't know. It's just like, I just feel like if you're like a tween boy or girl coming out of this movie, I feel like you're gonna have some fucked up ideas about like gender dynamics and shit. I mean, because I do like the sentiment that they were going for, where it's like, where like, yeah, you shouldn't be depressed and feel like you're worthless if you don't have a
female approval.
Right. And that's good, but it's almost like they're demonizing him for wanting to be with Barbie.
I would argue that he wants to be with her for the wrong reasons to some degree. Because it's never... I mean, actually, that's not true. Let me scratch that before you fucking start attacking me, because it's not even perfectly illustrated why he does. All right. You're right.
On purpose, it's not defined.
Yeah, I would agree. Look, like, if you're... Look,
make him seem more...
I think you're falling into the pitfalls... I think you're falling... Look, I mean, I understand, like, the movie was made with overt ideology ingrained to the story. I understand that, but I think a lot of people are...
It's feminist propaganda.
For sure, but who cares, right? Like, I think people need to stop going to movies dissecting it with ideology in mind. I'm not saying it's not warranted in this case, but when I was watching Oppenheimer, I can imagine the amount of people trying to dissect the political affiliation that was historically accurate that Oppenheimer had during that time and try to disregard it solely because of that, because they're so fucking motivated by stupid algorithms and political indoctrination. Like, can we just watch a movie and maybe not just like be so fucking autistic about it? I don't know. It's a movie about a fucking Barbie. Now, I do blame Greta whatever the fuck her name is, Greta
now,
Vagina.
That's some left-wing cope, okay?
How is that a left-wing cope, dude?
Whatever, because I see this all the time whenever it's like, why are conservatives getting so worked up about it? Fucking tell you.
I just think it's really harmless. I think it's harmless.
It's just Ghostbusters. Why are you getting so worked up about the female remake?
But it's Barbie, dude. Of course it's going to be feminist propaganda. Barbie is feminist propaganda. And during its initial fucking run as a product, women were not fucking doctors or lawyers or astronauts, dude. But Barbie was. Okay? Yes, Barbie is a fucking feminist icon. I know that. I think people are just so fucking blindsided and don't understand that. Look, dude, you're a 40-year-old fucking man. You never played with Barbies. So, yes, this is brand new to you. So, calm the fuck down.
What are they missing from not playing with Barbies?
That Barbie's always been this, dude. She's always been this.
Been what?
A feminist icon.
Okay, there's nothing. Okay, but Barbie is a.
So why does it take people up front like, oh my god, feminist propaganda? Like, dude, it's Barbie. It's Barbie. Of course it is. Of course it is.
Okay, I see what you're saying, but like,
why is this a surprise to anybody?
But the feminism, the feminism,
it's so fucking dumb.
You're talking about Barbie was a first wave feminist thing, which first wave feminism was like. Basically, like, women rock. That was the ideology. Like, yeah, you could do anything.
Like, women are on par with men.
Women rock. Yes.
For sure, absolutely.
But now we're in like fourth or fifth wave feminism.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Okay, where
I would argue it's not really that.
Where like in modern times, like that first wave feminist propaganda wouldn't even read as feminist.
Absolutely.
Today. But that's not what this movie. That's not the feminism this movie is pushing. It's pushing like third or fourth wave feminism, where okay, yeah, maybe men and women are legally equal, but there's not enough female CEOs, and there's all societal expectations. They're all fucked up. America Ferrera speech and this shit. You know what I mean? And it's like that element of that strain of feminism is basically training women to feel put upon all the time. And like
it's an inferiority
anytime
complex.
Anybody expects anything of you, it's the patriarchy. You know what I mean? It's like
no, I understand.
And that is where this movie's coming. If it was OG Barbie like messaging, it wouldn't even read as feminism. It would just be a girls rock movie. It would be like Barbie, like the like if you want to talk about the original spirit of Barbie, it would be like the equivalent of like of what's that movie with the four guys where they go on a motorcycle trip?
Wild Hogs.
It would be like Wild Hogs, but for the women version of that, you know, or like Girls Trip or something. Where like,
yeah, but those movies suck.
But you see what I'm saying? It would be like we're like
It'd be like,
I thought being a Barbie meant I had to be in this lane, but when I went to the real world and learned that women can do all this amazing shit, and Barbie meets female lawyers and Dr. blah blah blah, and by the end she realizes like, I want to leave Barbie land because there's all this opportunity out here for us in the real world, and I don't have to be stuck in a box. You know what I mean? Like something like that, and that would be like a first wave. Like, yes, technically feminist propaganda, but that is the true spirit of Barbie, not like this postmodern deconstruction of like, oh, Barbie's an idea and real women are actually cooler because they're real, and this is a Pinocchio allegory of breaking through the patriarchal training and shit. You know what I mean?
Dude,
and I accidentally brought in the patriarchy from the outside world into Barbie Land, and now we've got to fix it because the matriarchy was what was really working.
Look, I understand your points. I understand the right wing outrage by Ben Shapiro's and like. I just thought Ryan Gosling was hot.
Okay, here's the thing, because I actually agree with you that. It's well made. There's a lot of good out. It's like directed well. There's a lot of set design, the acting.
I mean, I didn't love the movie. I'm not giving it like a fucking 9-star rating. I mean, it's a 6 for me, 7 on a good day if I'm feeling high enough.
And I didn't hate the movie.
Right.
I just thought the messaging was kind of fucked up. But in terms of just movie making, and I do kind of agree with you that well, I don't know. I don't know like where to stand on this point, but like people are getting like too into it. But it's like
right.
Like you can like a movie that, because I agree. Like I would agree with you that like this, you can make a movie with like a message that you don't agree with, but it's just so entertaining and well crafted.
That's how I felt like with The Menu. But I would argue The Menu is not.
Yeah.
I would feel the Menu. This is gonna be a hot take. I don't feel The Menu was as well crafted as the Barbie movie was.
No,
because there's only one set. There's only like one or two sets, right? So I really can't. I mean, I don't. The score isn't as memorable. The soundtrack isn't as memorable. The performances were pretty fine. They were pretty good. Ralph Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, and the twink Beast. But I thought the script was there. I thought the story was there.
That is a good example, because I hated the ending of The Menu. But I have to admit that the build-up to it was pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a solid 6.57 for me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like...
decently crafted. I feel like Barbie's, I think, a little bit better crafted in terms of, like, the character... Like,
I just remember there being some stills that I'm like, damn, actually looks pretty good.
But did you feel like Barbie was a compelling character on her own? I feel like she kind of had that...
I feel like...
some people feel about Luke Skywalker that he's kind of boring or something like... You know,
I
like
mean,
the
she has a
leading-
lot more. I think she has a lot more going on in terms of like a narrative arc. Like she's confronted with like the meaning of existence and has to try to overcome that to some degree and find out what it means to be a real person. Whether or not it's executed properly, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't enticed, so perhaps not. But I mean, that could be just attributed to me being a guy and just not really. I mean actually, no, because like that's a shitty excuse. Because I mean, existentialism is a human feeling that we all have to confront at some point. But I mean, I just feel like once we go into that conversation, I just feel like we're just a bunch of fucking neckbeard faggots.
About the messaging and whatnot.
Well, when we start talking about existentialism and shit like that, because I almost felt like there's a reason why Oppenheimer and Barbie were kind of as popular as they were. I think there's like an existential crisis in society, and I think they both, to some degree, have to put their face in it. Man, you gotta watch Oppenheimer, dude.
Okay, okay. Let's talk about that. Like, do you think? Because I think the Barbenheimer meme probably helped Oppenheimer more.
Probably, yeah.
But I do think that with the Ukraine war and like everybody talking about Russia being in the news and shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah. You know what?
A lot of adults, like 35, 40 plus people, are like probably like, oh shit, I want to see what this is about.
I think what's so great about the story of Oppenheimer is it really does feel like it's an ever-existent threat that exists in humanity when we are forced with motivation and manipulation of tools outside of our understanding. All I can think about was the advent and proliferation of AI when I was watching that movie, because there's a line in the film like I don't think it's a spoiler where he's discussing like, hey, this is not a 0% chance that this atomic weapon can cause a chain reaction of unstoppable chain reactions.
They thought the atmosphere was going to be set on fire.
Right.
Yeah.
And well, it turns out to some degree he was right.
Yeah, it's just a lot slower.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's what I'm thinking about, like with AI, like consistently, like, man, we have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, we have no idea what we're unleashing.
Right, and it is creating like this intelligence arms race. You have many people in high-end tech industries calling for the cease and desistment of further proliferating artificial intelligence and upgrading it until we find out what the fuck we're doing. And I don't think that's I hate authoritarianism, but I think there comes a time when we face a threat greater than
so dangerous.
Yeah. That we have to collectively make the right decision.
It's too dangerous to be left alive.
I think so. Well, not left alive, but at least understood.
Yeah, I mean it's not going to happen. Just like it didn't, like Oppenheimer didn't do shit to stop the proliferation of nukes. Because I know he tried after the war, and I wait. Does the movie?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay, it goes beyond World War II. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Well, the entire movie is set during a hearing.
Oh, of course it's out of order, Nolan, you bastard! You got to dilate that time, don't you? But yeah, I know that he was like a nuclear, like a proliferation, anti-nuclear proliferation advocate or whatever after, because he was pretty fucked up about it. And he had to fuck all those whores. But
they got into that.
But just like, he couldn't do anything about it. Chris Nolan, I mean, I don't knock him for trying. But we talked about this last week where like that is the innovation of the West, where we can take solace in the fact that we know what's coming, like that we can talk about the future and where we're headed, even though we can't do shit about it. But just the commiseration, the community aspect of talking about it, feeling the dread together, that is a salve.
I mean, I suppose in some degree that's like that's what makes us somewhat redeemable. Is the fact that we can be doing these things that some would deem monstrous, but also have a voice stating the possible implications and said furthering of whatever we're doing. You know what gets into that really well? Team America. I watched it last night.
Really?
Yeah. Watch it, dude. That movie's fucking great. Like, besides the fact that it shits on everybody from every angle, left-wing liberals, conservative nationalism, Middle Eastern terrorism, like everybody gets a fucking shit pie tossed in their face, but they kind of at the end come to the consensus that we kind of need America, even though they're a bunch of dicks. Remember the dick speech?
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
That somebody does kind of have to do it.
Yep. But don't be a pussy.
But
don't be a fag. Don't be Alec Baldwin.
Well, somebody's going to do it. So, I mean, that's basically how every country feels, though. It's like, okay, somebody's going to do something, so it might as well be us. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, some country is going to have influence and control over Ukraine, and every country's like, okay, well, it might as well. Putin's like, well, it might as well be Russia. Europe's
U.S.
like, might as
already
well be
thought
us.
it was them.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, we basically did. We basically do.
No,
like, they wanted
that's
to join
exactly
NATO.
why Russia's in the position they're in right now.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Ukraine isn't actually a sovereign nation. They're the puppet state of the U.S., if not fully to some degree. Like, there's Western influence in this country that's bordering ours. So I'd rather it be us than them, which makes sense. Like, obviously, I don't think we'd take too kindly if Russia was peddling influence in Mexico or Canada. We would kill them 10 times over before they even attempted to do that. I mean, wasn't this basically what the argument over the Cuban Missile Crisis was about? The fact that Russia was sending in missiles into Cuba, which was like basically a satellite state of the U.S. at the time. Or not a satellite,
no.
But this is the fact that our sheer vicinity was so close.
Russia was trying to bring Cuba into their fold.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why we were having such a conniption fit about it.
Yeah, and they're like, no, they're too close to us for you to do that.
Right.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which honestly, any country would feel that way, but...
As they should.
But only the U.S. is
I mean, to some degree, doesn't that prove that they are a country? Is the fact that they feel like their borders are defined and clear, and anything that would dare infiltrate or compromise it is a threat to their existence.
Well, I mean, specifically putting like Russian nukes on the island, that would have been a
literal existential threat.
Yeah. That's not hypothetical.
No, but I mean, but
I see what you're saying. Like in concept, any version of that, the country's going to resist.
I mean, except for us with Mexico, because that's planned.
With Mexico?
Oh, yeah, the Mexican invasion, dude. That border is porous as hell.
Oh, we're letting the immigrants in?
Yeah.
Why? Oh, we need cheap labor.
Yeah, and everybody benefits from that. Well, the Uniparty benefits from that.
The greater good. The Mexican labor is now cheaper than Chinese labor.
No way.
Yes. The Ford factories in Mexico are cheaper than factories in China now. China has a growing middle class and a collapsing population. The U.S. has a collapsing population, but the only reason that we're not going to totally collapse is because of the border and South America. And Latin America, Central and South America are still having lots of kids, so you can always just import them.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah.
I just hate when the right-wing sphere of influence starts to, There's something wrong with the right wing right now. I can't quite lay my finger on it.
It's leaderless.
The fact that it's accepting Andrew Tate, the fact that we're ingratiating ourselves with women who think 16-year-olds are hotter than 26-year-olds. You know Pearl Davis?
Oh, yeah, just pearly things?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like a red pill.
She's fucking gross.
Chick. Yeah, she's just she kind of reminds me of like Milo.
Yeah. We're like, women need to be more accepting of men that cheat. I'm like, bitch, what are you doing? What the fuck you doing? Like, yes, I understand that men cheat a lot.
And she's not married. She's got no kids. So it's like,
I know. I hate
wait till
it
happens to you.
I hate the people who have no fucking skin in the game want to tell people who have lower means how to live. Like Tim Pool. Like, just move. Or like, oh, man, the founding fathers risked their children and lives. Nigga, shut the fuck up. You're a millionaire with no children. Don't tell people who make $40,000 a year not to risk themselves for their kids. Get the fuck out of here. They risk more than you ever will in your entire fucking life, you cretin.
What is it? Well, I mean,
like when people say like don't stand, like he's like people who don't stand up for cowards and just like let this happen. Then you do something, faggot. Like all you do is talk in front of a fucking mic all day.
The show is his activism.
Okay, yeah, shove that up your ass. Who gives a shit? What are you doing? Offsetting Hassan by like what, 0.1? That's really all you're doing.
Not even. They probably have different audiences.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know, man. I just think I'm just so fucking sick and tired of people who grew up in like the internet realm of prosperity, like the gold mine of the internet era. Like they are so disconnected from actual reality. Like I think that's what money does to you, really, right? You know.
Yes. It changes your relationship with people. Like the more money you have, the more people that you interact with that are there to serve you.
Like, do you really expect that everybody's going to be an influencer? Like, tell them, like, oh, go outside, do activism, and then create your channel and create an influence. Like, that's literally impossible. Like, not everyone can be an influencer. Not everybody can have a show or a podcast. Someone has to be there to fucking lay the bricks, you faggot. And it's not going to be you.
That's what I always felt about Andrew Tate, like, and those guys who are like, you got to be a millionaire, CEO, business owner, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, but don't we need, like, plumbers and... But,
like, not... Like, it's just, like, literally impossible. Not everybody can be in high-end industry.
Yeah, we're not set up for that. So, literally, their message is that some of you guys are destined to be betas forever.
Just go watch Wreck-It Ralph, and you'll have a better understanding of what it is to be a human being.
Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah.
How does that end?
I'm cringe, but that's based. I'm not based, but I'll always be cringe. Just, he said some different words, but that's all I know. Like, I'm not bad, but that's good. And I'm not good, and that's not bad.
Right.
Self-acceptance.
Right, that, you doing your role is okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Basically.
I mean, ultimately we do need people to be like, yeah, I'm a plumber and I like being a plumber and I'm going to be a plumber for the rest of my life.
They make bank, though.
They do. They can make like 80K as well.
Starting out.
Yeah.
Probably closer to 60, 70, but like after a year, you become like a journeyman to like master plumber. You're not working on the sewer lines no more, bud. You're working constructions and doing new construction, and you're just laying down pipes.
Yeah.
You know? And that's like probably 200K.
Shit, you think?
No, I know.
Damn, that ain't bad.
Like, I could see myself like doing some residential areas for 70K a year. I mean, it's not bad. You're not charging $10 an hour. You're charging like 80, maybe 100. 3-hour job, in and out. I don't. And then you gotta and in case you have to like start going into like main sewer lines on the backyard and start excavating. Shit, that's like a fucking weak project right there, bud. That's easily a couple of G's.
Oh, dude, Mission Impossible, dude. It had the biggest opening weekend.
And then Barbie chopped its legs off.
And Barbenheimer just fucked it all up.
That's Tom Cruise's fault. He wanted it to come out that time.
I guess he wanted it to be a summer movie.
I liked it. Honestly, man, this is going to be a hot take, bro. I think that's my favorite out of the three.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm hearing people say, like, okay, it wasn't bad, but it's my least favorite of the new ones.
I thought it was cool.
And so
I think I liked it more than the last one.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Dude, there's this really badass. It's like, dude, Tom Cruise just knows what the action crowd wants. The set pieces are fantastic. The vehicle in which the story exists is pretty cool. And the acting's pretty good. Haley Atwell brings her best. What's her name? What's Mantis's name?
Palm
Clintiff.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty hot.
Is she without the
She hardly talks,
ears?
dude. My favorite kind of woman. My favorite kind of woman.
What? Because of her thick accent or what?
She talks a little bit like towards the end, but she speaks French, which is where she's from.
All right, that's pretty hot.
Yeah, that's pretty. Man, I don't know, man. Shit, bro.
Asian with the French accent.
Man, Tom Cruise, man, he knows. Man, that motherfucker. He learned some things in Scientology, my nigga. That motherfucker know when to pick up them women, bro.
Dude, he likes classy ladies, like Haley Atwell, Vanessa Kirby, the blonde one.
Yeah,
was she in this one?
Yeah, she was in it.
And then Palm Clementov, I bet she looks great in a backless black dress or whatever, I'm sure.
Oh, no. She's covered up pretty much the entire movie. But a pretty formidable B-villain. Pretty cool, pretty fun. Action pretty top-notch. Pretty cool villain. And a really good setup. I didn't feel as empty as I was after the end of Across the Spider-Verse. Like, I feel like I got a complete movie.
Oh, right, because it's part one.
Mm-hmm. It's cool, man. I think you'd really enjoy it. I think you'd like it a bit. I don't really understand. Is it like really getting like hardcore backlash right now?
No. It's just it fell off at the box office.
But that's just because of Barbie.
Yeah. No. I think most people like it. I think the RT score is good, but I've heard some people say like, "Oh, okay, it's not bad, but it's just not my favorite of the recent ones," or like it's not the best of the new crop or whatever. And I'm like,
I think it might be better than the last one.
Yeah, Fallout had a really complicated plot and stuff, and I couldn't tell if they wanted you to follow it or not.
Here's the thing about the Mission Impossible movies. I think this is what works so well for it. It's not as canonically integral as like an MCU movie, where like you're not completely fucked over if you haven't seen the previous film. Like, yes, there's reoccurring characters that emerge, and you are rewarded for knowing a thing or two from like a character. Like, I mean, isn't like the weapons dealer like the daughter of a villain from another movie?
Yeah, the first one.
Right, who gives a fuck about that? At this point, she's like her own character. No one cares. But there is like no... And this may be why people... I don't know. I don't feel like you really need to watch the other ones to really get into this one. I thought it just kind of worked functionality like on its own.
No, all of them you don't. This is the first time they're really doing like a connected story across two movies, you know?
I was rewatching Ghost 3 the other day.
It's just called MI3.
Is that the one that's directed by Bad? No, Ghost Protocol is the one directed by Bad Bird.
Yeah.
Okay, it was Ghost Protocol then. No. I was watching 3 because it had Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes, that is 3.
Pretty fucking solid.
That is a solid one.
It's pretty fucking good, actually.
Some people say
it's kind of rebounded the franchise.
It did. People thought it was over after 2, and then 3 they thought that was just going to be the cap to it. And he does kind of retire at the end, and he kind of rides off into the sunset with his what's her face, and so then when they bring out 4, it was kind of like a soft reboot. Kind of like the Fast franchise, where it's like,
oh, but we're back. Oh, but we're back.
We're back, and now the shit has happened in between movies, and we're in a totally different spot. But, dude, honestly, this franchise is...
all over the fucking place.
Mission Impossible?
Yes, but not in a bad way. Because I feel like directors do leave their stamp on these films. Because after watching 3, and then after watching the recent one, it does feel like there is an artistic stamp taken by the directors and the writers, respectively. And
yeah, 3 feels like a J.J. Abrams TV movie. You know?
And then Ghost
like
Protocol.
Alias.
And then Ghost Protocol is just badass.
And then Ghost Protocol feels like Brad Bird loves that the 50s like Cold War shit.
It's pretty sick.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of in there with like the mass and the Russia, you know what I mean? The Soviets and stuff like that, you know? And the nukes. They bring back nukes. I don't think any of the Mission Impossibles had like nuclear threats in any of the other movies.
Pretty solid movie.
And then
Ghost Nation? No. Rogue Nation? No, it wasn't Rogue Nation. It was 5.
Yeah, Rogue Nation, yeah.
Oh, Rogue Nation was
and
pretty
then
cool.
6 is Fallout.
I didn't love Rogue Nation. It was cool though.
That's the one with Henry No.
That's the one before that.
That's the one with the bearded guy.
Yeah, it's okay. The opening sequence of Rogue Nation is pretty sick, though. When he breaks out of the prison.
Yeah, that's Ghost Protocol.
Oh, that's Ghost Protocol?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Okay, yeah. Oh, damn, I do love Ghost Protocol, man. That one's fucking sick.
Again, that also feels like kind of more throwback.
That opening sequence. And you know what I love about these movies is that Tom Cruise isn't afraid to be tongue-in-cheek.
Dude,
but not as egregiously as an MCU movie.
I was going to say that these movies it is kind of like the MCU where there's
as bad. I don't think nearly as bad. I think that's what they try to do, but they don't quite do it. There's
a tonal consistency between them, but also directors can kind of put in their own personality into there.
No, but I think Tom Cruise. I would say I don't think it's in the script when he's being like when he's winking at the camera to some degree. You know. Because he's just like that 80s guy, and he's trying to be that 80s badass, and sometimes they're just kind of so over the top, but it's fun to watch.
But I think, but the franchise has never had like a huge American following. I think I think most of the box office is about 50-50.
Really?
International, domestic, like U.S. is about half, but none of them are $1 billion movies.
Really?
Yeah.
None of them even came close.
I don't think so.
Then the last one didn't make like 800,000.
I think so.
800 mil.
Yeah, but you don't really see those anymore. Like Guardians 3, where it made like 800 or something.
It made 800.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck? I haven't even bothered to see it, dude.
You haven't seen Guardians 3?
Dude, I'm off the MCU wagon, dude. I was watching Secret Invasion with my girlfriend.
Oh, that show sucks.
I will say that she's such a fucking Marvel shill. I'm like, bitch, this shit sucks, dude. You know what? No. I'm not gonna lie. I thought episode 1 and 2 were okay. I was interested in the spy element, but it just kind of fucks that over so hard.
Okay, Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation both made like $690 and $680, and then
on a budget of what?
And then Fallout made $790.
Oh, is that the highest grossing one then?
So far, yeah. The Fallout, which is the one before the one that's in theaters right now.
I'm surprised those movies haven't made $1 billion.
I guess with Fallout, they thought like, oh shit, we're trending up here, and let's this next one's gonna do even better.
And especially after the Top Gun scenario, they're like, okay, Tom Cruise is the guy. He is the guy that we have as our lead, and we're gonna make $1 billion, or at least get really close. But I don't think that's necessarily wrong. I think Tom Cruise can lead a $1 billion movie. I think if it just went a little esoteric and wasn't so franchise heavy. Because I will say this, I do think Mission Impossible is kind of hindered by its own success, and the fact that people probably feel intimidated going into this movie, like, oh, I haven't seen like the other 7, you know. Like that's a big factor to consider.
What factor?
Just, you know, franchise determinant. Like, if you're not into the franchise now, like, you're not going to be now. I mean, after fucking 7 movies, even if the movie looks good and you like Tom Cruise, you're just probably not going to go see it because you don't understand it. Like, I'm not going to watch a Harry Potter movie late in the series if I've never seen the other fucking 6. You know?
Right, but
the barrier to entry is kind of
that is crazy. But Mission, it's not.
But it's the most accessible. I know it's the most accessible.
Way.
It's the most accessible.
Yeah, they're really not designed that way.
People are so poisoned by the MCU.
I was going to say, you think the MCU has trained people to feel like, oh, I got to start at the beginning, and if I haven't, then I can't just jump in.
Right, and I think that is one of the detriments of franchises that not a lot of people really fully understand. Is like, yes, you are guaranteed to have some baseline viewership because you've been around for such a long time and you've already accrued like a fandom, and it's guaranteed money, but it's not guaranteed big money because you got to attract new people.
Yeah, that's the catch-22 of it, where it's like, do you try and just add to the audience that's already there, that are already coming to see it, or do you try to Mission Impossible is like one of the only franchises that can do this.
Or James Bond. Well, not the recent ones.
Oh yeah, James Bond is a great example where I think people know with that because it's been around way longer and they already know that it's been rebooted. So it's like they know that these are all one-offs.
But I mean, Mission Impossible's been around like around the same time. I mean, in terms of film, yes, it's only been around for like 30 years. But the series existed in the 50s. It had, I mean, that's the whole reason the 90s one existed.
I think MI1 is 96.
Yeah, almost 30 years, dude.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right. But James Bond is like 50 or 60 years or something like that.
But they had a series. Like, the whole reason that the Mission Impossible film franchise took off the way it did is because there was not a big following, but there was a following of the people who watched the show. And then people who just like Tom Cruise. But you know what? You're probably right, though. I don't think people who watched the first movie were like even knew about Mission Impossible, the series. Or maybe they heard of it but never really watched it. And they just wanted to go see it because it was like a Tom Cruise movie and he was kind of hot shit in the 90s.
Yeah, it's a Tom Cruise action movie. What's going on?
Yeah, no, you're right. But
but nowadays, I don't know where the audience
is
at with that in terms of like will they go see like a franchise movie that they know is part of a franchise, but how do you get people to know that, oh, this not like one big story?
I think the second movie is going to perform poor. Because now it's solidified that you do need baseline knowledge, as before you didn't.
Right. Oh, I haven't seen part 1.
Right, which you don't need to.
Maybe they'll take off the part 2 in the marketing
and call it a different name.
Yeah, like Dune, they didn't say part 1 in any of the trailers or anything.
Are you going to see Dune part 2?
Absolutely, we gotta.
Dune 2?
Dune 2, we're doing it.
Dude, wouldn't it be funny if Thor 2 was called Thor 2?
Thor 2?
Thor 2, does that sound funny?
Yeah.
Thor 2. Is Thor 2 better than Thor 4? I think it is. I haven't even seen it, but I feel like it is.
Yeah, it is. Because you got Loki, you got Tom Hiddleston in there.
Is Thor 1 the best Thor movie? I think it is.
Some people say so. I mean, it is a very simple, but...
I think it is.
I think it's a well-crafted...
I think it is.
Little journey. It doesn't... The thing about Thor 1 is, like, it doesn't feel like you're getting the full potential of what a Thor movie could be.
That's what the sequel was supposed to do.
Right. Yeah, like Thor 2 is like on Asgard, and it's like, oh, okay, now we're in like a full-on fantasy movie now. Not this half, like, oh, a fantasy character drops into the real world, like kind of
Yeah,
half,
none
half,
of that Hercules in the Park shit.
Right. So with, but I guess they just couldn't nail it with Thor 2.
Dude, if you had
but it's still pretty good. I mean, look, a lot of people, like, that's where people really, like, that's when people, Marvel realized, like, oh, we can take Tom Hiddleston, we can keep him going.
Dude, if you were going to make a 90s Avengers movies, who would you cast? I have a couple of ideas.
Okay, Iron Man, Tom Cruise.
Of course.
Hulk, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, nigga. Arnold Schwarzenegger to play Thor.
Okay, that's not bad.
It's actually great.
Or I was going to say Brad Pitt, but he wasn't super hot in the 90s. He really took off in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Mm. No, you got to have a science geek to play Bruce Banner. Okay, never mind. We fast forward it. Early 2000s. But CGI is not too bad.
Seth Green as Bruce Banner.
Wow.
Who are you thinking? Oh, no. Actually, what's his face?
Mark Ruffalo.
No, he would be just a baby.
Keep Edward Norton.
Ed Norton, that's what I was trying to
keep
think.
Ed Norton.
Ed Norton, yeah, he is perfect.
Dude, I really wish we got more of that. I really wish we got more Incredible Hulk, Ed Norton stuff.
Yeah, him running around the globe.
Dude.
Running from the cops.
Am I the only one that liked the Incredible Hulk? I feel so silly, but I think it's actually fucking good.
There are dozens of us, dude. No, it's actually pretty emotionally effective. Like,
isn't it?
Yeah, like the way that they get you into the character and make you empathize with Bruce, and like you really feel his struggle in that movie.
Yeah.
And it's like he's got
a target on his back the entire film.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
He can't live. He cannot live.
He's like a leper or something, or like, I don't know, like he's like wrongfully accused, but yeah, there's just a portrayal of Bruce Banner in that movie is awesome.
I don't understand like the hate behind it, because I keep hearing people saying like it's one of the weakest MCU movies, but like they act like they've never seen Thor 2 or Guardians 3 or any of the Spider-Man movies.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
No, I'm talking about the MCU ones. I think those movies actually just fucking suck. They actually, do you think they're actually good? Like, can you be real with me? Like, do you think they're actually good movies?
I did think about that, especially on the last one, because I'm like, okay, it's definitely fun, but it's like this whole movie hinges on
pop culture knowledge
on movies outside of it.
It's like a non-movie.
Right. It's like a meme movie almost.
Yeah. And like if that's all you have to offer in terms of like cinematic crafting, you don't have a story, dude.
Yeah, like the story, like, okay, but the crafting of it is good. But what they crafted,
is mid.
It's because it's like there's a lot of ways they could have fucked that up trying to do the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's like
they did though. I think they did.
Well, not for $1.5 billion at the box office. And because I feel you, but at the end of the day, it's like that's what they care about. So, who's really losing?
I mean, I mean, it's better than the
only
second.
Us.
I thought the sequel. No way, was it Far From Home?
Yeah.
I thought that one blew fucking chunks, man.
With Mysterio?
Yeah.
Oh, people love that twist ending.
I fucking hated it, dude.
Oh,
that movie was actually ass.
And J. Jonah Jameson?
Even more ass. I just want a cool Spider-Man movie, dude.
You don't like him in the MCU, huh?
I don't like him outside the Raimi trilogy.
I think it would be cool if you had, like, Spider-Man had his own franchise, and then he popped into, like he goes to other people's movies and Avengers, but, like, they don't come into, like, he's always just by himself in New York, you know what I mean? Maybe he's, some cameos here and there, but, like...
Dude, it's just like... Doctor Strange would be perfect. Doctor Strange actually is perfect. I think that's what I liked about it more. The element of it feeling like it exists in a world outside of himself, but it's also not too far from reach. Like, yeah, dude, Doctor Strange is just down the street. He lives in New York too. You know? Like, that made sense to me.
Oh, yeah, because he's in New York and shit.
But, like, I really like the designs of that early MTV show, the 3D animated one. That's kind of like a false sequel to the Raimi trilogy or first movie. Just give me E-Girl Mary Jane, dude. I'm not even kidding.
In terms of what?
Just
casting.
Just in terms of aesthetic. Just give me E-Girl Mary Jane.
Amaranth.
Yeah, but someone who's like less of a cunt.
The redhead.
No, just give me like a 5'2", C cup, little redheaded E-girl, and I'm fine with that. Maybe like a little goth angle to it. Why not? That's fine. That was popping off in the early 2000s. I think that design is underrated and underappreciated. Like, she looks like she could do OnlyFans.
That's what you want out of your Mary Jane?
Yeah.
And then
what else? What else is there? What else is there to want?
Actually, that would make sense if she was an OnlyFans model because she's she's classically a model.
She can't be a whore. She can't be a whore. She just looks like she could, but she doesn't because she has some standards.
It feels almost impossible to make her an actual model. Like, even Raimi made her
an actress,
an artist,
a step above a model. But she's basically just a moving model that talks.
Right. Yeah, a slightly more complicated model.
Which is fine. I mean, you can give her some level of complexity. I mean, anything would be above Zendaya's MJ.
Well,
there's like no complexity. The fact that she just kind of feels sad sometimes and is a weirdo. Like, they're going for that Breakfast Club. What's her name? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
like the teen angst character.
She went from the autistic,
basically like goth.
Yeah, the autistic goth girl to Molly Ringwald.
Yeah.
And you know what? That actually could be kind of cool and interesting. But Zendaya she looks like she's 12. I'm sorry.
Yeah, in those movies she really does.
Like, I think MJ, I think you're doing a disservice. I think MJ should have some sex appeal. Like, dude, Spider-Man be pulling, bro. Have you seen his bitch gallery? Let's not talk about his rogue gallery. Let's talk about his hoe gallery.
Oh,
Come on, my nigga.
Liz Allen,
Black Cat,
Betty,
Gwen Stacy, Betty Brant, Mary Jane, all the other ones that none of these niggas know about. He be pulling some. Oh, in the Ultimate Comics, he pulled Kitty Pryde. Come on, man.
Oh shit, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, he did. It's pretty cool. He be slaying with that spider dick. So come on. Stop giving me these little fucking 12-year-olds, bro. I ain't no pervert Disney. Give me a big titty bitch that's white and got some red hair. I'm gonna beat your monkey ass.
All right, who you casting? Who's your MJ pick?
Let me think about this. Riley Reid. But kind of adjacent.
I don't know. Dude, I don't know any actors. Like,
Riley Reid adjacent.
I don't know any up-and-coming actors, really.
I think Shailene Woodley's fucking ugly. I'm glad they cut her. I think she looks like she's just fucking ugly. I never thought she was attractive.
She hasn't. I wonder what she's been doing.
Nothing.
A lot of like teen actors, they have like a
they
dry
got molested,
spell.
Yeah.
Well, that too. But they have like a dry spell when they look like a full-on adult, like between like 24 and 30, where it's like.
All right, okay, now we got our use out of you.
You could unless you're already like a hot actor, then they'll cast you as like 28 but being like 22.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like Andrew Garfield.
Emma.
Oh yeah, they were supposed to be. They were like in their mid-20s, right?
That's fine.
Playing like high schoolers.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
They look boyish. He looked boyish enough.
Yeah, his baby face. He was the oldest Spider-Man. I think he was like 28 or 27 or 28 when he started.
Really?
Yeah, playing like a 17 or 18-year-old.
Spider-Man. Give me an American Spider-Man, you fucking N-words. Hey, but Cillian... Oh, well, not spoiler alert. Cillian Murphy did the same thing.
The same thing as who?
Dude, he's like almost 50 playing like a grad student. They just put a wig on him.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. I'll accept that in biopics because it's like, all right, it's the same guy, I guess. I mean, so, like, some directors like recast.
I think it works fine.
Oh, okay. So you wouldn't have preferred a different actor?
Nah, I think it's fine.
Playing his younger self?
Well, I mean, I give it more grace because people in like the fucking 30s looked 40 when they were 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I give it more grace.
They live hard lives.
Yeah, definitely.
And it showed. And Cillian Murphy
doesn't look that old anyway. He doesn't look super old.
He lost a bunch of weight for that because Oppenheimer was like ghostly thin. And apparently he was like passing out on set sometimes. From being too fucked up.
Cillian, are you alright? Yes, I am, Chris. Alright, I'm gonna need you to suck my cock. Show me how serious you are about this film. Give me the Sloppenheimer, Cillian. I'll do what I must for the film. Nah, he's pretty good.
Dude, do you know any up-and-coming actors? I was trying to think, like, I don't think
There
I
are
really
none.
do.
There are none.
I guess Florence Pugh is kind of up-and-coming.
She's got nice titties.
There's probably like TV actors that are like I know like all those shows like have like Euphoria.
Dude, there isn't.
Well, there isn't as many.
They don't exist anymore.
What?
Actors. Like, not really.
In what way?
What is like the most up and coming actor that you've seen? Like, who's like 17, who was like on a show or a film? I mean, Timothée Chalamet.
Timothée Chalamet. There you go.
That's about it.
Tom Holland needs a better agent, dude. He is just getting cast in shit over and over again. And apparently he had he was an alcoholic.
But, like, it's because of your shit. I don't think there's going to be a script good enough for him.
Yeah, he needs to get away from trying to be a leading man. Like, he wants to do the Michael J. Fox kind of thing.
But Tobey Maguire and Michael J. Fox had more range than he does. Like, they're actually decent actors.
Well, honestly, I've never seen any of his other movies. Cherry.
Tobey Maguire? Oh, no.
Tom Holland.
Robert Pattinson. You know what? Robert Pattinson kind of come up recently. A little bit.
Sometimes actors pop off before he got arrested.
Like Ben Affleck? I feel like that's kind of Ben Affleck.
He's had an up and down career for a long time.
But like I feel like in like the early to mid 2000s, like he was just kind of like a nothing actor and just a pretty face. But I feel as of late, he's kind of taken more seriously.
Well, yeah, in the early tweens, when his directing career was going off. But then I don't know what triggered him to have relapse.
The depression helped him, I think.
Well, no, he got clean. He got sober, but then he relapsed after. I think the Snyderverse might have made him relapse.
It would make anyone relapse.
And he went back he had to go to rehab and shit.
I would kill myself. That
was several years ago, and then he started to come back, and he was like, "Okay, I'm done with the franchise shit. I'm just gonna make like movies that I like, Air and."
Have you seen Air?
Basketball, other basketball movies. He was in another basketball movie where he's like a coach who gets ordered to do community service to be.
Oh yeah, Coach Nigga Carter.
Yeah, something like that.
Have you seen
Oh, but you know that black guy Kang?
Oh, the wife beater.
Yes, he had been acting for a while, like for years, and then suddenly, like in his mid-30s, like he starts getting recognized and starts popping off. You know, Creed and Marvel and yeah.
That's it.
No, he was in he's been in a couple other like small budget dramas that were like well respected.
Have you followed the career of Jimmy Fox? Is he kind of like that, or has he always just kind of been? Because I feel like he wasn't taken seriously.
No, he never really. I don't know what his peak was necessarily, but he never was
I think like the mid to late 2000s.
Yeah, because I think at one point like he was doing stand up and acting and singing, and so yeah, probably in the mid or 2000s, yeah. But yeah, he was like, you know,
he was on a bunch of shit.
The Gold Digger. He was doing movies. He was doing stand up,
shows too.
So that really TV shows?
I think he did like a few guest appearances. He did some shows,
but he was never like.
No, he never had his own show.
A star, yeah.
Wait, did he not have a Jamie Foxx show? Never mind. I could be wrong. That could have just been any black guy.
The Jamie Foxx show? Maybe so. Is that where he got started?
I don't know. I don't remember.
But you saw him. He won't. None of his family will say what happened to him. He was hospitalized, and apparently, but nobody will say.
He got sickle cell, but no one wants to say it because it'll make black people look bad.
But that's just like a genetic thing.
That black people get more.
Yeah, they're just more likely to get it. But no, I feel like he might be terminal, dude.
You think so?
Because he said in his post, I'm getting back. I'm I'm going to be able to work soon. But if you had recovered from it, if it wasn't something that was going to be a problem in the future, why wouldn't you just say what it is? You know what I mean? It's like, I was in a car accident.
You are a conspiracy theorist.
Well, of course. But, that's why I think, it's
And I look down upon you because I'm a conspiracy observer.
Well, I like to come up... Yeah, no, I don't want to just read them. I want to come up with my own theories.
Oh, man, that's even more based.
yeah. I'm connecting the dots myself.
Where are we at, nigga?
Hour 10.
We want to wrap it up pretty soon?
Yeah, you got anything else?
Can I come out?
Yeah.
Guys. So, kind of like Chris Tyson, I've always kind of been struggling with my identity. Chris Tyson always knew he was a woman, but got married to a woman and then came out as a trans woman and then abandoned his children. I kind of feel like I'm experiencing a similar journey, but except I'm not abandoning my child. I feel like I fully realized who I am.
Who's Chris Tyson?
Mr. Beastman, the tranny.
He left his wife and kid?
Yeah.
Well, what if she didn't want him or her?
I mean, it's probably both. He's at least a gay man.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. You can't tell me Chris Tyson ain't gay.
Oh, well, because I've heard of trans women that
fuck women still.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Or I've seen couples.
I've seen videos, yeah,
where they go where they stay together after one of them transitions.
I've known friends who've had gay dads who still stay with their married partner. So
they're bi.
At the very least.
At least a little bit.
But my
I didn't know he let. I saw a Mr. Beast video with the tranny in it.
He's fucking ugly.
And
he was an ugly man.
I couldn't tell.
And he's an even uglier woman.
I honestly couldn't tell. I just thought it was another one of his
freaks,
femboy, entourage.
I'm just gonna start calling them freaks, dude, because that's what they are. They're fucking freaks. Get those freaks away from me.
The trans community.
Yeah.
I support allyship, LGBTQIA+.
I support murdering them en masse, but that's besides the point.
And the
I mean, they'll do that job for me, so it's all right.
Vince's opinions are not the opinions of the American Meat Podcast.
Yeah. Those
all opinions are solely their own creators.
Look, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do anything they're not going to do to themselves. Okay, I just want to speed up the process.
Oh. So you want to give them AIDS? What you're saying?
No, I want to make them commit unalive on themselves in Minecraft.
All right. Well, next episode. We'll
No,
be
wait, I didn't come out. I didn't come out. I didn't come out.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm racist. Oh, and transphobic.
Mm-hmm. Well, we already knew that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Good job. Oh, and I'm gay. Yeah, we
already knew that too. What's his name? All right, boys. Let's wrap it up. Remember,
next time.
Be kind, rewind, and let's get it.
This is the worst pod ever.
Y'all. 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 Y'all.